Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we got the big brakes in. You guys have been hopping all on me about when I'm going to install some big brakes on here. So I got the big package in finally, and we're going to be installing these bad boys on. These are the Brembos. These have the 15-inch rotors opposed to the 12.4-inch rotors that's currently on the CTS. Major stopping capabilities with these. These are true Brembos. So why don't you guys just sit back, grab your popcorn, and watch as I get these bad boys installed on here, and you'll be able to see what these look like, and I'll let you guys know how that stopping distance is once they get installed as well. But these things are going to look good on here. These things are massive. They're the real four-pot Brembos, and I'm going to love them, and I'm sure you will as well. All right, so one of the first things I want to do is go ahead and get these painted up red. Put a couple of coats of clear coat on there and let it dry up real good overnight before trying to install these. All right, so to remove these calipers and these rotors, pretty straightforward. You probably saw my video installing the drill and slotted. If not, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and go check out that video. So now I'm just going to take these back off, even though I just put these on. And the things I'm going to need to help out with the whole project would be my angle grinder right here, the best stuff around, the Permatex brake part lubricant, and of course some, not the red, but the blue thread lock. And I have a 11 millimeter, a 13 millimeter. I believe this is a 25 star bit. I got an 18 millimeter, and this right here is to close off the holes so we won't lose too much fluid. This isn't my best one. I can't find my smaller one that will do a better job of closing this off. So I know it's still going to be dripping. So I have my box down here to catch some of the brake fluid as it's dripping out. Of course, this right here is going to have fluid coming out of it too, not just the hole. So you want to try to capture as much of that as possible. To close off the hose. Taking these off. Some people prefer just to take the whole unit off, which is just 2 bolts, which makes it seem pretty straightforward and easy. But I just find it for myself easier just to remove the brake caliper first and then remove the brake caliper bracket. But first we have to get this brake hose off over here. And that's going to be oddly enough, an 11 millimeter. Look. Now we're going to take our 13 millimeter and we're going to remove the 2 bolts for the calipers. Oh, I think I was wrong on that. I think that's a 14 millimeter. Yep. So nix the 13, go with the 14. Go. Brake pads off. Now 2 18 millimeter bolts in the back. And break them both free before it's removing one. Otherwise, it becomes more difficult. One bolt right there. Just get this top one out. Now we need to remove the set screw up in here so that we can take the caliper off. You may not have it on yours. If you don't have it, then you just remove your rotor, that is. All right, these didn't come with the black cap, of course, so I painted them. Not my best job, I forgot to do them last night, so it was a quick job today. I hate doing things last minute because I don't do my best work. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the set screw back in since I have it. Again, it's not necessary, it's just to hold the caliper in place, the rotor in place while you put your caliper on. Now, this one over here didn't have the dust shield that's back here. It's like a half circle thing, well really a quarter circle that's back here. It didn't have it on here, so I can't show you guys me cutting it off, but if you most likely will have it. So I usually just use my angle grinder and then just cut off as 2 points where you can cut it off, and then it's easy to come off. Of course, you can go through the difficult route of removing your wheel bearing, and then that will allow for you just to remove it without the cutting, but that's a lot of extra work. All right, as you can see, I painted them. I prefer the red look, so you can just keep the factory look, or you can go any color that you prefer. All right, so we want to get our 2 bolts that comes with the kit. Oh, woo. And we want to pre-install a bit of this, apply some of this blue tread lock on there. All right, set them there for a moment. Oops. Now I'm going to take this here, and they go right straight onto where your brake caliper bracket came off of. No modifications needed, nothing. They just bolt straight up to there. And so if you know left and right, you want to make sure that between these, you want to make sure that the bleeder valves are pointing upward. That's how you know left or right, okay? And those, by the way, the replacement, those bolts are, I believe, going to be, bolt back here, those 2 bolts are going to be 16 millimeters. Oops. Went in the wrong direction for some reason. All right, now we have our, I guess I'll call it the compression plate. We have our 2 pins, and we have our 2 pads that we're going to put in. You'll know the difference. One has the early warning little signal there for when your pads get low, and the other one doesn't. I always put the early warning one in the rear. And this is where I'm going to use my brake parts lubricant. And there are, so really they just slide down into the channels right back here. Real easy, probably the easiest type of brake pads to put in. But what you want to do is lubricate over here on the ends, down here on each end. I also put a little bit here and here. Some people put some back here where the pistons will press up against. This claims to have the padding back here to prevent that, so it's not needed. So I'm just going to put it here, and then I like to pre-lube up inside up in here on the glidings, where it slides on. So I like to pre-lube those two as well. So that's what I'm going to do next. And try not to get any on your rotors. So this one doesn't have the early warning signal device on there, so I will slide that on the front. And take the other. Slide that down right there. So next I'm going to take these right here, the pins and the pressure thing. Now this right here one will go on with the feet down here, pointing downwards. It would just be on there like that. So these are going to be applying pressure on the brake pads themselves. These right there, the pins will be running along the back here. So what I like to do is just put a little back there where the pin will be pressed up against. And I like to put a little bit down here on the feet. And then I like to take my pins, and so to help with the glide in, because it's a tight area for these right here, I just put a little bit on there, not much. So then I will take my first one, and I will put it on there and slide it in from the rear. Oh, wait a minute. Let me set that down. I have to slide use this pin here, slide the brake pad up a bit so that I can get the pin through the hole. And now I can slide it through, and then from the front ones that you have easy access to, I can just push it from this end to line up the hole. All right, And then it's not all the way in yet. Right now I'm just going to go ahead and do the other one as well. And get that lined up. Guys, you know you could have said something to me. I'm all worried about the pins. I forgot. I'll just put back that out a little bit. I forgot to put this right here one in here. And unfortunately I can't slide it up that way, so I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Pull it back a bit. Now do that. And I'll hold it there while I slide my pad back up. And now I can press down. Now these things, now it's going to be on the pressure and it can be hard. So what you can do is take, I got my short screwdriver. You better have a long one, but you know how you have the lines in between the rotors? You can hold the rotor still while applying pressure down on here to be able to push that out of your way. Oops. Then you'll have free access to be able to slide the pin on through. There we go. And now we have to now tap that in the rest of the way. Get the hammer out. I'm sure they have a special tool for this, but I don't have it, so the hammer is my special tool. And it's probably a good idea to remove some of that pressure off over there as you tap that in. Use the pad back here to slide it up to make sure your holes are in alignment as you tap that in. And you'll know it's all the way in when it's flush back here. All right, we don't want to forget about the all-important brake line holes back here. We want to make sure to put that in. And is it a good idea on here? You're going to have a copper washer. You're going to have a copper, hopefully you can see that, it's a copper washer. You want to replace that with a new copper washer. They're really called kind of like crush washers, one-time use, and it helps to seal to make sure you don't have any leaks. If you reuse it, there's a chance you may have a leak. If you forget to put it in there, you will definitely have a leak. Now you want to take your 11mm and tighten her down. Now you can remove your hose clamp. And then that's it. Now it's all done and installed. Now the next thing you want to do is bleed these brakes right here. And you have a bleeder valve here, and you also have a bleeder valve right in the back. It's usually recommended to bleed the back one first and then the front one. So after you have both sides installed, you want to bleed the side that's furthest away from your master cylinder. So your master cylinder is on the driver's side. So you would do the passenger side one first and do the inside one on the passenger side, then do the outside one on the passenger side, then come over to the driver's side and do the inside one on the driver's side, and then the outside one on the driver's side. You want to get the probably get some tubing, plastic tubing, and put on here. Run 2 tubes into a glass jar, and then run the brake bleeding process. All right, so now it's time to bleed the brakes. So I've already taken those little rubber caps off of each one of the 4 bleeder valves. It takes a, what is that, a 10 millimeter? No, I'm sorry, an 11 millimeter on here. And I've already broken them open just to make sure that it'd be easy to open. And I have my tubing. This is the size tubing you probably want to use right here. As you can see, that's a 3/8 inch outer diameter with a 1/4 inch inner diameter. All right. Let's see here, and I have an empty oil bucket that I'm used to have the tube in there to catch the fluids. You want to pop your hood. You want to have your master cylinder cap off, and you also want to have some brake fluid as well, because we're bleeding it, we're going to be removing fluid, of course, so we need to keep it in there. You don't want it to ever run dry, otherwise you're introducing air into your system when you're doing this. Okay, pump. 3-4 times, then hold. All right. Okay, pump. All right, hold it. Okay, pump. All right, hold it. All right, pump. All right, hold it. All right, I'm gonna switch over to the other one. Hold on for a moment.
This is hard work. Because of my leg post-kayaking.
All right, pump. All right, hold it. All right, pump. Hold it. All right, pump. Hold it. All right, so that's how you really break in the pads. You just keep going, stopping. If you have to stop completely, you want to try to put your car in neutral and keep your foot off the brake. You don't want to sit there. You don't want to have your foot on the brake when you're stopped, say at a stoplight or something, because that will mess up the whole breaking in period. And so that's how you install the Brembo big brake package on the CTS, be it the CTS sedan or the CTS coupe after all. And if you guys like, definitely hit the like button, and if you hit that subscribe button, you can check out all the other YouTube videos that I have out there working on my CTS coupe.